So we're looking at this question today of how to get the most from your agency retainer, and with some of our senior team together here. And of course we run retainers, don't we? Digital retainers. But also we get phone calls from people who are looking around for a retainer. Maybe they're with somebody else who's not got a retainer. But we know that not everybody's happy with their retainer, and those calls tell us that. So we want to dig into this today. What is it that makes a retainer really fly, and what is it that makes people just get frustrated? And it might be running, but you're just not happy with it. And with plenty of examples, I know Laura, you've some good ones from the last year or so. Yeah. What's the sort of keys that you've seen in your retainers being successful?
I think first and foremost, you need to build a relationship with your clients. So working together, going out to see them face to face, not doing everything. I know we do a lot online, but it's important to have those face to face interactions, and particularly at the beginning, to build those relationships, and getting the most out of workshops that you're in as well, so that you can understand the business. So you're aligned on what the campaigns need to bring, what objectives there are. So it's just really building that relationship with them and instilling the trust between you and them. They can trust you, they've met you, they know who you are, they know your experience and your expertise, and you know them, and you know who to go to if you've got questions, who to go to if you need further information on things, to build really, really constructive campaigns that bring in leads, essentially. Yeah. So I think first and foremost, building that relationship is really key to successful retainers.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that complicated, some of it, does it? You know, if you clearly understand, if the two businesses clearly understand each other, yeah. If the goal's clear and if you're matched, you know, then that makes it so much easier when you get into the actual work, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think in the first instance as well, there's often different stakeholders for the campaign. So one person might want to get one thing out of them, and another person might want to get something else. So if you've met everybody and you can understand those objectives, it helps better inform the campaigns, because you know the overall objective and the different KPIs that people have got.
There's something in that you're talking about a lot there, about sharing information and knowing who does what, and a sort of like a mutual clarity on those things. But there's something about setting that one goal for the retainer. The retainer has one goal.
Yeah.
It's not that there's a sales manager who imagines there should be this outcome, and there's an MD that imagines this, and a marketing person, and then we're imagining something else at our side.
Yeah.
It's one. So how do we get that clarity then? Not every retainer has that clarity from what people tell us, but where we are, it does, doesn't it?
I mean, everything starts really at the beginning, the foundation of the relationship. It's really understanding the business objectives, understanding a return on investment, an ROI that you need to get, and then setting, you know, being clear on that goal. And if that's agreed at the beginning with those stakeholders on both sides, then if it's you in this instance, Laura, running it, makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, we usually get those the outcome in a workshop. So we get the clients come to us away from their office setting, and that's usually the best setting to get aligned on those objectives. That's how. Not every agency might do it that way, but that's how we do it.
What's an example of an objective then? Because we know we look at sometimes at people's retainers that they've currently got. You know, they show us whatever our agency currently is doing this. What would you do? And it might be things like they're really keen on measuring traffic, or it might be particular search rankings and that. But I think I see something different in our team. What's that difference?
It's interesting because we do get a lot of clients with other agencies coming to us and saying, "Oh, this is the report I'm getting, and they're measuring keywords and keyword rankings," and that's great. But why are they trying to measure them? What's the next objective of that? Is it to get more traffic? If it is, what do we want that traffic to do? What's the goal after that? So we go right to that. So is it to get more micro conversions of a lead magnet, like a white paper, or is it to get contacts? What are we trying to achieve? So right from the beginning, we can identify that, and then say, okay, this is the lead number. Then from there we work back. What's the sales value? Then we can work out the value of a lead. So every time we're reporting, we can say, actually, we've got you this amount of ROI compared with your marketing
Yeah.
retainer or ad spend.
So to feel like you're getting value, you've got to first map out what value looks like.
Yes.
Like what's value after 6, 12? Where do we want to be after 18 months, 2 years? What's the 3-year success for this retainer?
Yeah.
If you've not got a shared picture on a number, might just be a number of leads per month, or
Yeah.
as simple as that, then how can you, of course there's going to be anxiety on
That's it.
one
And
side or other.
the thing is as well, we can get to a point with some clients where actually they've got so many leads, the funnel's got a bit of a backlog.
Yeah.
So we have a client at the moment where we're looking at the value of traffic, but because we know the value of a lead and we know the conversion rate, we can put a value on how much each visit each individual user has.
Yeah.
So we can still give them an ROI just on that traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes it doesn't have to be the lead number, but we can actually say the traffic has this much value rather than just having, you know, astronomical numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's important to have a value on everything. Yeah.
And if you're not clear at the outset
Yeah.
about what the goal is, and all stakeholders aren't on the same page, if you like, you know, I've got an example of that actually. There's an example of a client where you would assume the client always wants more traffic, and so you're failing if you're not bringing more traffic. It's not always like that. There was a client that that had a volume of traffic, and they didn't. The objective wasn't to get more of it. The objective was to get 100% UK traffic, and all of that traffic engaging at a high level. So actually, success was maintaining the same level, but taking the percentage from 50% UK to 90%.
Yeah.
And then that traffic was fully engaged when they came on the site, and then it was valuable. So it's, you know, so long if those aren't clear and understood at the outset, it's going to go wrong, which is why we make the effort to do that.
Yeah.
So it can be, this is a good one, this, isn't it? So it can be less traffic.
Yeah.
Or
Less traffic can be a success.
Even there's other metrics that can be going down. You know, it can be like we're paying a little bit more for every click, but the quality is so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we actually want lower numbers of most things, but a really high number of the big outcome leads or sales,
Yeah.
something like that.
There's a few examples of that, Steve. I mean, you know, I think we'd be failing in our job if we just said, right there, we've got that many leads for you, we've met the target, and you know, we've done our job. I think you're right. If we're bringing 30 leads in and it's not really working for them, and we're having those valuable conversations about lead quality and how they're converting at their end,
Yeah.
to reset the target to be lower but much higher quality leads is a good outcome. To be bold enough to do that,
It
Yeah.
is.
or to be involved enough and to have those conversations.
Yeah, but going back to your point at the beginning, we can be bold enough if we have that relationship with them at the beginning and understand their business, so that we feel like we're part of the team, we understand what it is they're looking for, then we know we're not looking for volume. There's quite a few examples where we actually say to clients, maybe we need to reduce the volume because we can see the quality would improve by doing that.
That's how we do our own lead generation, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's completely targeted.
Yeah.
It's very low numbers of everything, but really, really good quality.
Yeah.
And there's a flag, isn't there, when you know it's not quite going right. I've seen that in the past, and the flag is if people start talking about the data a tier down from leads or the goal.
Right.
If you start talking about a keyword position,
Yeah.
you know, you've really missed the
Yeah.
point. That's not.
It's a symptom of
It's a
something's
symptom
not right
of
somewhere else.
Yeah, you're almost distracting from the goal and go
Yeah.
into detail that isn't really
Yeah.
part of the main objective.
Could I want to try another question, because from what you said, there's something else is springing out to me here. It's bringing a memory back. And the memory is that I used to hear this thing, going back 10 or 15 years now, I used to hear, it's going really well, but he just doesn't get it. Or she just doesn't get it. The client doesn't get it. And I don't hear that anymore. I've not heard that for 5 years, maybe 10 years now, but I used to hear that a lot. But I think there's something in that. I think the client doesn't always, I think the inquiries we get coming in, the client doesn't always, I don't really know what they do.
Yeah.
We're paying this money, I don't really know what I'm getting. And I don't hear that. Why do we not? Why is it that we might have heard years and years ago, they don't get it, and now we don't? There must be something in, is that reporting or is it, what is that? Why?
Yeah, I think
or is
it's
it
keeping it
alignment at the
simple.
beginning maybe actually?
I think it's all of that. Being aligned at the beginning, being clear from the outset what the goal is, managing their expectations, and everybody knows what they're doing. So by the time we come to reporting, it's very clear, you know, this is the amount of leads that you've got, or a number of this against this objective. This is the return on investment you're having. And then it doesn't really matter about the vanity metrics. We're not trying to do smoke and mirrors, which a lot of clients come to us feeling like they have had that experience elsewhere.
Yeah.
So we're very clear about what we're delivering. And that's why we're not we simplify it as well, so people completely understand what they're looking at. You know, we don't just create a report. We'll go into dashboards and show them what we've been doing. It's very transparent. So
Yeah.
I think there's something else as well in the change of the times, I suppose, is that the teams that we're working with, so the client is usually somebody that's already in a marketing department, or it's in a well-established marketing team.
Yeah.
It's not just, years ago it might have been that it was somebody that was trying to spin plates and do lots of different job roles, but now part of our matching process is that we're working with a marketing team.
Of course.
I think an example of perhaps an ill-matched client would be someone in a financial role, an FD manage, you know, is the person, the relationship.
Yeah.
And if they're simply about cost, or they've got a different objective that's not matched, it's not going to work. And that's why we've worked hard over the years to make sure that we have those well-matched clients, someone in a marketing role.
Yeah.
And like you said, Laura, you like to feel that you're part of that team
I
for the
do.
time that you're delivering that work and invested with them.
It just helps the campaigns, it just helps the relationship to understand their business better and feel like you're working. You need to understand that business to be able to run the best campaigns possible.
yeah.
So everything we've said is, I recognise, I've seen, it's true. What's the question is, how do I get the most from my retainer? So if I'm a client today and watching this, and I think, you know, actually something's not right with ours, what's the steps to take? We need to answer the question, how do I get the most from my retainer? What do I do if I feel something's not quite right?
You need to your retainer needs to be the tactics that you don't know, the things that you're not the most comfortable with. They're the experts. So the marketing retainer, you need to get the most out of it, because you're paying for the things that you don't know about.
Yeah.
So you're paying for the expertise on paid channels or SEO or things like that might not be in your wheelhouse. So it's I think you'll get the most out of it by recognising what you need help with. And putting the trust in someone that's got the expertise in those tactics.
Yeah.
But I also think it's about recognising whether that dynamic, that relationship you've got with your agency is working or is ever going to work. And if it's not, you need to change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to find the right matched partner.
And knowing whether or not you understand what they're doing. If you feel like you don't understand what they're doing, then that's a sign that you're not getting the most from your retainer.
Yeah. Well, remember, everyone can remember they've got control over those things as well, haven't they? So. Yeah. Good. Great. Thank you, guys. Okay, we've more on our YouTube channel, more like this. And if you've any questions on this or related topics, then feel free to reach out as well.